people. I didn't want you to think that I had forgotten about you. And since it doesn't look like we're going to be playing Foursquare anytime soon, I thought we could at least keep up with the cooking and the cursive writing. So real quick, the people that have signed in so far are Jacob, Dylan, Vanessa, Morgan, Delaney, Carly, Max, and Lee. Now, for those of you that weren't keeping track, that's only about half of you. So what I need you guys to do is get everybody else that I didn't call their name to go to the Google Classroom. This is the code they need to enter, RATY 4DV. Oh, that's a B, sorry, BV. All right, and get them to log in. All right, that way they'll be able to keep up with the videos and what we're doing in Gator time. The other thing, and this is just optional, I created an Instagram page for my classes. It's Kaisamores_art_classes. So even though you guys aren't technically one of my art classes, you guys are one of my classes, and I do miss you. So if you want to be a part of that, it's totally optional. You can join the Instagram page. I'm not going to follow you back, so don't get your feelings hurt. Now, since I'm shooting this video as a one-time take cooking demonstration, if I mess up, I apologize, but it's really hard to shoot a cooking demo in one take. Now, a few things. You need to start cooking because you cannot live off these, even if they are deluxe. And you cannot live off this, no matter if your parents are going to buy one for you every single day. At some point, you're going to have to start to cook. Now, seeing this is our first lesson in my kitchen, yes, welcome to my kitchen, we're going to keep it really simple. Okay, we're going to do a pie, a cherry pie, and I know we've done that before, but we're going to do it simple. Okay, this is like the cereal making of cherry pie. First of all, I did not make the pie crust. They came from the box. Nor did I create the filling. It comes from the can. So all this is an assembly and a bake. Very straightforward. So first thing, start with your cooking spray. I'm using a glass pie pan. Make sure you spray it really well. Probably better do that over the sink, okay, unless you're going to clean up the mess. Then you've got your pie shells. Now, these pie shells, because they're pre-made and refrigerated, they're not the best in the universe, all right? They tend to have holes in them, like you're going to see here in just a second. Yes. And they're typically not exactly the right size for what you need. So there's a little bit of adjustment when you fit it to the pan. You want to just real gently work this down in here. Now, I did wash my hands before I started. For those of you who are germaphobes, you know who you are. But what I want you to see is you just kind of have to massage it down into the pie pan. If you try to force it down in there, you're going to tear it. And since this one already had some holes in it, you don't want a leaky pie. Not that it'll be inedible, it'll just be really ugly. So, once you get the bottom crust in there, I like to go around the edge, smooth it down. All right. Make sure there are no air bubbles underneath the bottom. Force them out if you have to. All right. Then you're going to need 2 cans of cherry pie filling. All right. Just dump those in there. Make sure that you use a spatula to get all the juice out of the can. Otherwise, you'll end up with a really dry pie, which is not good to eat at all. The other thing, you can use the light cherry pie filling, but let's be real, people. If you're eating cherry pie, why would you want it to be light? All right, unless you're diabetic. All right, just use the regular pie filling. You'll end up with a much tastier pie. Now, it's going to look like a lot of filling, but remember, this is going to cook down. All right, it's actually going to be quite a bit less once it's gone through the baking process. Because even though this is basically just a dump and bake, all right, it does still have to cook so that you get a nice golden brown crispy crust. All right, now, the part of this that makes the demonstration worthwhile is what I'm going to show you about how to join 2 pie crusts together once I get the rest of this filling out of here. Now, like I said, these are not perfect pie crusts, okay, because they get dry and they crack. We've got to figure out a way to make them join together. So the first thing is you want to make sure the rim is really smoothed down. Then I'm going to take just a little bit of water and I'm going to moisten the edge all the way around. This is going to help seal the 2 pieces of dough together as we go around and crimp our pie. Now, don't put so much water on that you sog out the crust. That's not going to work either. You just want enough on there that you're going to be able to join the two of them together. All right. So, camera angle is going to adjust just a little bit here. So this is the part of the demonstration that's really the takeaway. The tool to do this is the end of a knife and your fingers like this. So as we do this, what I'm doing is I'm pinching and pushing. So I'm pinching with my fingers and I'm pushing with the knife. Now in a pie factory, there's a machine that does this. So the spacing's real regular, the pressure's even, and all the pies come out looking the same, more or less. In the real world, even if we had made these pie shells ourselves, the odds of you actually getting it joined together super beautifully the first time, those of you that are out there that are perfectionists, you know who I'm talking about, are pretty much against you. But with a little bit of practice and a little bit of patience, everybody can get a pie that looks really pretty, and everybody will go, ooh, ah, you baked a pie. When in reality, all we really did was combine the ingredients and use a pre-made shell. But it's fine. Nobody will know the difference. All right. Now, you can see we've got all this extra dough around the edge. You could bake that, but again, it's going to end up being a hideously ugly pie. So I like to just use a sharp knife. I'm going to go around the edge, and I'm going to trim this off. Now, this is also why I like to use a glass pie pan, because if this was a metal pie pan, not only are you dulling your knife, but you're probably cutting up the pan a little bit. All right, so this waste dough, you just throw it away. You're not going to need it anymore. Now, because this is a cherry pie, you've got a lot of liquid in here. If we just baked it, the pie would literally blow up and overflow in your mom's oven, making a huge mess, making the house smell like burned pie crust. So what I'm doing here is called docking. When you dock a pie, you're creating little air vents for the steam to rise up out of it. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use about a tablespoon of white sugar, maybe a half a tablespoon, across the top of the pie. Okay, this is just going to give it a little bit more sweetness. It's also going to crisp up just a little bit better because of the additional sugar. All right, so we're going to change the camera angle. In order to bake this, you want to bake it at 425 for 35 to 40 minutes. Notice that's a 10-minute gap. Your oven might be hotter, might be cooler. Most people don't ever test the temperature of their oven. So start at 35. If it still doesn't look golden brown on top, then stretch it out. Certainly though, don't go beyond 45 minutes, because at this temperature, 425, you don't want to burn your pie. Okay? Now, I hope you got something out of this little demonstration. I'm going to keep pushing stuff out to you Gator Time people because I like you and I miss you. So again, if you know those people, contact them, Snapchat, Instagram, let them know, hey, Mr. Kaisermore is still sending us cooking videos and how to write in cursive, because we spent 6 months working on your cursive handwriting. You don't want to just let it evaporate. All right? We'll see you guys next time. We're going to do some more exciting cooking videos once I get better at editing videos. Thank you. See you guys later.